is like the worst thing ever, right? Because that's not really news, to see if the groundhog sees his shadow or not. So he sends him to Puxatawney, in Pennsylvania or something. It's like the worst thing ever, right? At any rate, so what happens when he gets there, though, is something really odd. He keeps reliving the day. Yeah, his alarm goes off. Anyway, he keeps reliving the same day, and then something happens. He has to change something about him so that he can sort of get out of that loop or whatever. But it's a really good movie. You guys ought to check it out, right? Groundhog Day. Today's Groundhog Day, Marlacia. And in Spanish, that's like La Candelora. So it's actually a holiday. So depending upon what little town you're living in, and in some Spanish speaking place, right, they're going to celebrate La Candelora their way, right? So what are we going to do today? Vamos a practicar con el vocabulario deportivo. So we're going to quickly review that sports vocab. And then we have some reading, writing, and vocabulary practice that we're going to do. Okay. Once again, buenos dias, Arshad. Wednesday is when we'd like to have everything caught up. Okay, Marlacia, don't worry about it. I know you had internet issues. But for everybody else, we need to make sure we get everything turned in by Wednesday. Okay. All right. So I hope y'all had a good weekend. Okay, Arshad. So I'm going to quickly put the slides back up, you guys. Stay with me today, right? Stay with me today. And so real quickly, el baloncesto. So balón we know is ball, cesto is basket, and so basketball. Now, if you were to go someplace and say basketball, they would get it, right? Like that's also a word that's used. Baseball, el boliche, la natación. Jugar is our irregular verb. Remember, the U goes to a UE. So it's juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, and juegan. Then we had el equipamiento, which is equipment, which we're actually going to delve into a little bit more today. El balón, el bate. La bola is a big ball. Remember, though, in Latin America, you're going to hear more pelota. Okay, pelota. Pelota is like the generic word for ball. Okay. Casco is a helmet. Guante is a glove of any kind. Pelota, again, is a ball. Raqueta. La red is a net. And remember, you guys, it's also the word they use for the internet. Okay. La competición deportiva. A game is el partido. El estadio, that's a good cognate. El jugador or la jugadora. El equipo is a team. We had an IR verb, competir, to compete. Ganar, to win, regular AR verb. Perder, to lose, a regular ER verb. Okay, here is jugar. Juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, juegan. Right, you guys? Okay, that's what we've been working on. Okay, that was, again, just whatever. So let's do this. You guys have a choice. You can either try to access your guided notes so you can refer to them today during class, or you can access those slides in the module, whatever you prefer. Or if you feel like you're good with the vocab and you don't need to access either, that's fine. Because we're going to practice with a video, part of it. It's not, we're not going to do the whole thing. We're going to practice with part of a video that's going to ask us to guess which sport it is. Okay. So you might want to have some, if you need the vocab, you might want to have that open. Okay, let me refresh. All right. Okay. Let's see if it messed up all my settings. Should not have. Okay. All right. You guys ready? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Yes, Brooke is ready. Joanne, are you ready? You have your vocab pulled up and you're ready to go. Arshad, you ready? Okay, I'm going to hope that my little thing here didn't, thank you, Arshad, didn't mess up my settings, but we'll see, I guess. Okay, here we go. So, adivina qué deporte es, right? So we're guessing what sport it is, okay? I slowed it down. I'll pause it. Again, I'm hoping that my settings didn't mess up, but we'll go with it. Okay, here we go.
Cortés. Buen día, chiqui curioso. Después de aprender la semana, ¿qué deporte es? Presta mucha atención.
Okay.
Comencemos. En este deporte usarás un uniforme.
So it didn't pull up the, hold on. It didn't pull up the subtitles. Give me a second. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start it again. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So you can put your answers in chat. Don't worry about spelling, or you can unmute. That's all good.
En este deporte usarás un uniforme y de calzado necesitas zapatos llamados zapatillas o tacos. Usas un balón para practicarlo. Se juega en una cancha con porterías.
Okay, so check it out, you guys. Una cancha is the field, right? Porterías is the word for goal. So, ¿qué deporte es, clase? You can unmute. ¿Qué deporte es? Which sport is this? ¿Cómo lo llaman en español? Arshad, you remember? Jamarian, do you remember? Muy bien, Arshad. What sport is this? Muy bien, Brooklyn. Jamarian? Calls it football, okay? Football or whatever, okay? All right, muy bien, Marleisha. All right, here we go.
Y se forman equipos de 11 personas.
Okay, equipos de 11 personas. Who remembers, clase? ¿Qué es un equipo? What is an equipo? Okay, Joe Marion. It could be me because I have that issue as well. Clase, ¿qué es un equipo? What is an equipo? Arshad, if you want to open the slides in the modules, you can to help you with the vocab, or you can open up your guided notes, whichever. Guys, ¿qué es un equipo de 11 personas? What is the video saying to us today? It's up on the screen, actually, in English. Un equipo de 11 personas. What is that, you guys? Feel free to unmute. You see it up on the screen? Un equipo de 11 personas. Do you see it up on the screen, you guys? What are we talking about? Muy bien, Marlesia. A team, un equipo of 11 people, right? Muy bien, muy bien.
Te doy una pista extra. Cuando se anota un punto, se le conoce como ¡Gol!
Sí.
¿Ya sabes de qué deporte es?
Okay, we'll go on to the next one.
Sí, es el fútbol. ¿Sabías que el fútbol es uno de los deportes más populares del mundo? Sí, cuando el torneo llamado el Mundial se juega cada 4 años, los países compiten entre sí para ver quién es el mejor. En el año 2018 ganó Francia, ¿eh? Ahora, adivina cuál es el siguiente deporte. En este deporte se usa un tutú. Debes usar zapatillas de punto o puntas. Este deporte se practica en un teatro frente al público. Puede ser individual o en equipo, depende mucho del tipo de presentación.
Okay, so we don't have this one in our list, but it's obvious what it is, right, you guys? So, ¿qué deporte es? ¿Qué deporte es? What would we call this in English? Yes, being a ballet, right? Or we could just say, you know, our Spanish word would be bailar, right? To dance, bailar. So do you guys think that dance is a sport? What do you think? Oh, we froze up. You guys think dance is a sport? See? Okay, muy bien. All right, Jomarian, it could be me, right? Because I'm freezing up too, so don't worry about it. Okay, so here's our next one, you guys. We'll just make do. All right, let's see what we can come up with.
Para este deporte necesitarás de un traje de baño.
Okay, un traje de baño. Let's say check it out. Una gorra is a cap. If you guys remember last year when we did clothing, gorra was a cap. Goggles, right?
Acompañado de un par de googles o visores y una gorra. Se practica en agua, principalmente en albercas. Este deporte se practica individualmente y como pista extra te diré que es uno de los deportes más completos. Esto quiere decir que ejercitas todos los músculos de tu cuerpo. ¡Wow! Dime, ¿qué deporte crees que?
Okay, clase, ¿qué deporte es? From our vocab. ¿Qué deporte es? From our vocab, you guys, ¿qué deporte es? Sí, muy bien, Brooklyn. Arshad, Jomarian, ¿qué deporte es? Sí. What sport is it? Sí, Arshad, muy bien. ¿Cómo se llama este deporte? What's this sport called? Jomarian, do you remember? All right. I'm not one of those. Arshad, your camera needs to be on, por favor. Arshad, ¿te gusta la natación? Brooklyn, ¿a ti te gusta La natación. Good job, Joe Marion. La natación, swimming. Joe Marion, ¿te gusta la natación? ¿Sí o no? You guys can just give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Si te gusta la natación, no. No, ni a mí tampoco. Joe Marion, me neither. Brooklyn, ¿te gusta? Okay. Arshad, ni a mí, no. Arshad, you got a camera issue this morning, my friend? The camera's not on. Yeah, ni a mí tampoco. Nah. Okay. So you guys too are having an issue. All right, so it's not just me. All right, well, let's keep going.
Es.
See what the
Bien,
next one is.
estás en lo correcto. Es
We'll fast forward here. Okay, here's our next
para
one.
practicar este deporte debes usar shorts o pants y tenis. Lo único indispensable para practicarlo es tu vestimenta. Este deporte se lleva a cabo en una pista. Para practicarlo,
So una pista, you guys, what's our guess? What is a pista? We saw cancha is like a field. So what's a pista? Pista? Yeah, in this case, muy bien, a track. Yeah, for running track. Okay. A pista can also be, FYI, a runway, like where the air, at the airport where a plane lands is also a pista. So you can kind of see the similarities in the sense of it's like a lane, right? Okay.
puedes hacerlo individualmente o en equipo en relevos. Y ya, para que adivines más rápido, te digo que el ganador de este deporte es el más veloz. ¿Ya sabes de qué deporte es?
Okay, so we did not have this in our vocab.
Sí, el atletismo.
Well, now we do, right? Atletismo, track and field, atletismo, okay? Because if you think about track, it has field events, so it's not just running, but we could say correr, right? We do know that word, correr, ¿sí? Okay.
O correr. ¿Sabías que la prueba más difícil para un corredor es completar un maratón? Este consiste en correr 42 kilómetros y 195 metros. ¡Wow! Eso es muchísimo. Por último, adivina este deporte. La ropa que debes usar se llama karategi, uniforme de entrenamiento, y consiste en la casaca, los pantalones y el cinturón con el color del grado. Los instrumentos para practicarlos son tus brazos y piernas. Se entrena en un dojo, que significa lugar donde se practica.
Wasn't Arshad, was it you that did karate? Or was it you, Joe Marion? I thought it was somebody this morning, no? Okay.
El deporte se realiza individualmente y como pista extra, sensei. Sí, tienes razón, es el karate. ¿Sabías que el karate desarrolla la concentración, el autocontrol y la confianza en uno mismo? Si no lo practicas, anímate a probarlo. Recuerda que el deporte es importante para mantenerte activo y para mantener sano tu cuerpo. Hay muchísimas opciones. Puede ser básquetbol, tenis, skate. ¿Qué deporte te gusta a ti? Deja tu respuesta en los comentarios y nos vemos en el próximo video de Chiqui Curiosos.
We had some new vocab in there. That was good. Okay, muy bien, clase. So, los deportes. I can remember at my old school, there was often an argument, you guys, and I'm just want you to weigh in about uh whether or not cheerleading, right, was a sport. So what do you all think? Do you think cheerleading, because they compete, right? Like here in Missouri, they go to state, they have state competitions. They do all kinds of, they go to gymnastics to learn all kinds of things. Do you think cheerleading is a sport, you guys? Okay. Yeah, muy bien. Very good. I'm not sure why at my old school, they were like, it's not a sport. It's not a sport, but it is. It's almost like a gymnastics. I agree with you guys. Okay. I am looking for my next thing. Some of us are having internet issues today, and I get it. Give me a second here. Okay. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit. Today's I'm just trying to finish up this vocab on 6-4. And our verb again is jugar, right? And we said it was an irregular verb because the U becomes a UE, right? So if this loads, I have another little thing for us today. I'm not sure why there's internet issues today. Is there some kind of magnetic weather going on everywhere, you guys, that we just don't know about? Okay, let's try this. All right, make sure y'all can hear.
Buenas tardes, estudiantes. Classes are over for the week, but a few students and some of our sports teams are outdoors being active. Just from them vowel from E to IE, or from O to UE, or from E to I. Verbs like perder, entender, poder, encontrar, competir, and servir. Well, the verb jugar, meaning to play a game or a sport, changes the U to UE. And like all the other stem change verbs you've learned, the nosotros and vosotros forms are unaffected. Juego, juegas, juega, jugamos, jugáis, juegan. The verb jugar is accompanied by the preposition a before the name of a game or sport. Since many sports are masculine, remember that you'll have to make a contraction of the preposition a and the definite article el. Mico y Lupe juegan al tenis. Nuestro equipo juega al béisbol. ¿Juegas al fútbol esta tarde? No, juego al dominó. Don't get confused and use jugar everywhere you want to express to play in Spanish. English uses only that one verb to refer not only to games and sports, but also to music and musical instruments. Not so in Spanish. The verb tocar, with no a, is used for music. En mi tiempo libre, toco música clásica y hip hop. Manolo tiene mucho talento. Juega muy bien al baloncesto y también toca el piano y la trompeta. Ay, that probably was not Manolo. So, to keep the sports theme alive, here's Ms. Lopez for the win. A short, easy review today. Keep up.
Okay, preguntas, clase. All right, so remember that tocar is for musical instruments, And then when we juga, when we play something, right? Cuando jugamos, jugamos a. So if it's something that's feminine, a la natación or something like that, right? Then it would be a la. But if it's a masculine thing, like bowling, boliche, right? Juego al boliche, right? That I play at. They have to say I play at is literally what they're saying. Okay. All right. Muy bien. The last thing we're going to do together today is this. And let's see if I can get it to come up. If our internet's going to keep freezing, we may have to just switch gears today. Okay. All right, let's try this. So this one, you guys, is, let me share my screen. Thank you for being patient with the internet. This is about the equipment, right? El equipamiento deportivo. So just looking at, there's some words here that we didn't have in our vocab. So we had fútbol, right? El balón. Baloncesto, usa también un balón, right? They both use inflated kinds of ball. Our goal is la portería. The basket, another word for basket is canasta. For tenis, usamos una raqueta y una red, right? Tenis de mesa is ping pong, right? Table tennis, right? So usa una pala y una red también. And tenis usa una pelota, right? That small ball that's technically not inflated, okay? So let's talk about some of this equipamiento. Again, if you still have your vocab pulled up, that would be helpful. And let's fingers crossed that we can get through this pretty quickly. So the quicker y'all can put your answers in the chat, the quicker we can try to outsmart the internet today, okay?
Hola, bienvenidos a tu escuela de español. Hoy vamos a ver el vocabulario del equipamiento deportivo. Puedes hacer deporte en la calle, en un gimnasio o en otro.
Okay. So the question is this: ¿Cuál es un deporte que jugamos en un gimnasio? What's this word gimnasio, you guys? We learned it like last year when we talked about school and stuff. Un gimnasio, what's it look like in English? Please unmute, it'll go faster. What's it look like in English?
Gymnasium.
A gym, muy bien. So, ¿cuál es un deporte que jugamos en un gimnasio? La pesca is going to be fishing. El atletismo, we saw, was track. Baloncesto, basketball. El esquí, skiing. So A, B, C, or D. What's your choice, you guys? Muy bien, sí, muy bien.
O en otras instalaciones deportivas como un estadio. Pero lo
Okay. So, un estadio, that is in our vocab. ¿Qué hay en el estadio? What is there in a stadium? Okay, so let's figure it out. Es un campo de fútbol. It's a soccer field. Es una cancha de voleibol, a volleyball court. Una cancha de baloncesto, basketball court. campo de béisball, baseball field, un campo de golf, where you would play golf. So ¿qué hay en el estadio? A, B, C, D, or E? In a stadium. What do you say, Arshad? I'm getting mixed answers. Okay. So Arshad, you get to break the tie. ¿Qué piensas? Okay. Rashad, you get to break the tie. ¿Qué hay en el estadio? Un campo de fútbol, una cancha de voleibol, una cancha de baloncesto, campo de béisbol. Okay. So Arshad broke the tie with A. So let's see who's right. Sí, un campo de fútbol, right? So it'd be a soccer field. Okay. Muy bien. Because baseball, we usually play outside, right? Golf, we play outside. Basketball, we play on a court, right? And volleyball as well, played on a court. So, muy bien.
Pero lo primero que tienes que hacer es equiparte. Necesitas un chándal, unas zapatillas deportivas y otros complementos que te voy a explicar cómo se llaman en español según los nombres que utilizamos en España. Y en mi zona premium puedes encontrar varios juegos y ejercicios para practicar todo este.
Okay. So we have el chandal is a sweatsuit. Okay, guys, un chandal. And then zapatillas deportivas are tennis shoes. Depending upon what Spanish speaking country you're in, they're going to use different word, right? Tenis, zapatillas. It just depends on where you're at. Okay.
O el baloncesto.
Okay. So, deportes de equipo. What's our equipo? What's that word? You can unmute. Team. Okay. So, team sports. And remember, we're talking about equipment here. So, we have el balón for fútbol y baloncesto. So, our question, el fútbol y el baloncesto son deportes de equipo. Identifica otro deporte de equipo. Identify another sport that uses el balón. A, B, C, or D. Remember, it's got to be inflated, like a balloon. Golf, tennis, baseball, fútbol americano. Which sport? A, B, C, or D? What's your guess? Identify another sport that uses el balón. Balón sounds like balloon, right? So it would be something inflated. What would our answer be? Muy bien, Marlecia. Anybody else? Okay, muy bien, Brooklyn. So if we need an inflated ball, golf balls not inflated, right? They're pretty hard, pelotas. Tennis balls are the same. They don't really have air in them. They're just like rubbery. Baseballs are the same. They're pretty hard. So the only one that would be a ballon that would be inflated would be an American football. Okay, right? Muy bien. So D.
En el primero, el balón debe meterse en una portería. Y en el segundo, en una canasta.
Okay. What is a similar word? What is a synonym for canasta in Spanish? El bate, la red, el palo is like what you play ping pong with, whatever you call that, I don't even know in English. And a casco is a helmet. So what is a synonym for canasta? Arshad, is that your answer for this one or the last one? What's a synonym or similar word for canasta? Very good, Marlasia. Brooklyn, muy bien. Joe Marion, Arshad. Arshad, like I don't know if that was your other one. Okay. For your previous answer, previous question, or for this question. Okay, so we have el bate. Clase is what? Who can tell me? What is el bate? El bate. It's a bat. Looks like bat, right? Muy bien. La red, remember it's like an internet, is also una red. So what is a red? Very good. Net, N-E-T, right? Palo is the paddle, like you play ping pong with, and a casco is a helmet. So the word that is most similar with canasta that you can see on the screen would be net, la red, la red. So if you chose B, muy bien.
Otros deportes se juegan con balones pequeños llamados pelotas, como el tenis,
Okay. Las pelotas de tenis son inteligentes, grandes, moradas, purple, o pequeñas. What's your answer, clase? A, B, C, or D? Las pelotas de tenis son inteligentes, grandes, moradas, which is purple, o pequeñas. ¿Qué dices? A, B, C, or D? Las pelotas de tenis. Las pelotas de tenis. Sí, muy bien, Marlasia. Anybody else? Okay, Jamarian. Muy bien. Arshad. Muy bien. Okay, Brooklyn. Muy bien. All right. So pelotas de tenis are tennis balls, right? You can see that up on the screen. Are they intelligent? No. Are they grande? Are they big? No. Are they morada? Are they yellow? I mean, purple? No. Son amarilla, right? They're yellow. So, las pelotas son pequeñas, small, right? They're small, pequeñas. Okay, muy bien. And remember, when we use adjectives or like these describing words, because pelota is feminine, your describing word also has to be feminine. And then in this case, it's also plural. So you have to make your describing word plural as well. Okay, so they're small. Muy bien.
en el que también se utilizan raquetas, y el tenis de mesa,
Del and net is also necessary for what? Golf, cycling, volleyball, or natación. A, B, C, or D. Una red también es una parte necesaria del golf, ciclismo, voleibol o natación. A, B, C, or D. Good, Marlasia. Anybody else? Marion, what do you say? Okay, good. Correct. We need a net for volleyball, right? Because you got to hit the ball over the net, to your opponent, right? And try to freak them out. Okay, let's stop there
También se utilizan
because I
pelotas.
want to make sure that we have enough time to do what else we need to do. Okay, perfect. All right, muy bien, clase. I'm going to stop sharing. And I need for everyone, por favor, to meet me in, come on, you can do this, computer. Meet me in Canvas, please. Okay, and if you give me 1 second, I'm going to view as student. And I want to explain. So before you start, I need to explain a little bit, right? Okay, so I'm getting ready to share my screen. So this is the last thing. Let me rephrase. Let me repeat. This is the very last set of things we are going to do in Unit 6. Okay, so essentially, once we get past these, we are done with Unit 6. Okay, so round of applause, you guys. Muy bien hecho. Okay, so if we scroll down to the bottom of Unit 6, we are in 6.4. Okay. So give me a thumbs up when you're there, please. Arshad, I need you to follow along with me. Por favor. We are in 6.4. So desafío 4. I can describe what sports people play, right? So you can see that we have our PowerPoint for our vocab. These were your guided notes that you should have submitted, right? I assigned this practica the other day, which was basically just completing the sentences with the correct form of each verb. So practicing those AR verbs and practicing jugar. The second one is going to practice writing sentences using the present progressive, right? Están jugando. So in every response, you're going to need a form of estar and then your participle ando or yendo, right? Y'all with me on this? See? Oh no, give me thumbs up. Jamarian, Arshad, Jamarian, I really need you to pay attention here, okay? You can do these in any order. I just put them in there, but I would suggest doing your VHLs first. And the last thing that we're going to finish up with is this un día de deportes. And I want to kind of show you how it's laid out, okay? All right, can you all see my screen well enough to follow along? Okay. So this is how we're going to finish, right? Un día de deportes, a day of sports. Read the story carefully. In the story, you're going to see words that have the little asterisk, right, with the little footnote, and they would be defined below, okay? So like in paragraph number 1, our first word here is hacía, that has a little actually corre has a little asterisk, right? And so right below, you'll see the words translated for you, okay? So you're going to use this, you're going to respond to after you've read the story, there are going to be a set of questions. You will respond to the questions using the story itself for the responses, okay? Do not go to the internet, please, because you're going to get all different kinds of vocabulary, all different kind of verb forms that we don't know and verbs that we don't know. And then I got to give you a 0 or whatever, all that nonsense. That's not what we're learning, right? You need to stick with what we're learning, okay? So online resources are not permitted. You can use any vocabulary list in Canvas you want. anything in the resource library you want, as long as it's in the class modules somewhere, somehow, you can use them, okay? You can search, you guys, in your modules by this Ignite AI search right here. If you have this, you can type in a keyword and it should help you locate it somewhere in the module, okay? So you don't have to spend too much time searching. Okay, so you're going to read these 5 paragraphs. And then it says take the quiz, right? It's not really a quiz, it's more of a comprehension check. But there are 8 questions. Okay. So if we look at the al comienzo, at the beginning de la historia. La historia is another word for story. Notice I put in here that it's from paragraph 1. So for every one of these questions, it's going to help you find the paragraph, right, where you need to find the answer. Okay, so you're going to read through each question, see if you can find the answer in the paragraph, type the answer. Notice you guys right here, respond in Spanish, because you're going to take those answers straight out of the story. Okay, this is a simple comprehension check. Can you find the answer to the question? Okay, so this is again why I suggest that you complete the VHL assignments first, right? I don't know if this will let me, but yeah. So that's okay. I'm not a student. Okay. So my suggestion would be for you to complete the VHL assignments first. That'll kind of get your brain thinking about the vocabulary, right? This is a simple one. All you're doing is matching the word. What is it? Okay. Right. And I mean, that's easy peasy. So it's just going to help you with your vocab before you do the reading. Okay. All right. Any questions? So we have 20 minutes roughly. Stick around. You got to stay in class so that I can help you. I'll be looking in Go Guardian in case you kind of get stuck on something. But if you do get stuck, feel free to ask me a question. And you guys, we can get this finished. And Wednesday, we get caught up with anything that we might be missing. We're in a perfect spot, right, to start our next unit. So that's our goal. Okay. All right. So stick around in class. I'll be happy to help you. Marleisha, can you check the chat, please? One more, Marleisha. Sorry. Check the chat, please. When you get to that second VHL thing where you have to say, you know, Bobby and Mary are playing golf or whatever it is, and you need that form of this. Remember, you guys, that you have to have a plus L, jugando al golf, right? Or a la whatever, natación. Okay, so don't forget that a plus L or a la, okay? Because we jugar a something, right? So don't forget that contraction. Just follow the example. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Yeah, Arshad, don't forget, you have to have a plus L, right? So al baseball or al baloncesto. Okay, don't forget that. They play at, right? We don't say that. We just say we play. But they say we play at. Fourth. Hey, guys, we have about a minute left. So I know if you're reading, working in Canva or something like that, you might want to save your stuff. Okay. Okay. So FYI, on Wednesday, we'll do a little cultural activity to start Unit 7, and then you'll have some work time since frozen, aren't we? I have office hours tomorrow, okay, at 1:45. So if you guys need me, just pop in. Okay. Have a great day. Adios. I hope our internet gets better. Adios, clase.